And what's up, folks? My name is Doug McKain, here for NBA Now on Chat Sports, live from Lakerland. Today's topic, all about the purple and gold, coaching rumors about the president of basketball operations, free agency, what's the latest with Anthony Davis. It's always something going on in Lakerland. Yes, they're not in the playoffs. Doesn't mean they're not playing games, but we're going to dive into all that in just a second. But before we do, head over to Twitter. Follow me at Doug_McKain. That's at Doug_McKain. All things Lakers, 24/7. You'll find it over there. So let's dive right into it. So last week, the New York Times' Mark Stein reported that in numerous rival organizations, there is both shock and relief that the Lakers haven't responded to events of the past week by chasing the likes of Golden State's Bob Myers, San Antonio's R.C. Buford, and Oklahoma City's Sam Presti before they go searching for a new coach. Now, that's what Mark Stein reported, but then just yesterday on Colin Cowherd's The Herd, he said that the Lakers have already filled Magic Johnson's role as president of basketball operations. The new team president has already been selected, but it has not been announced because that president is currently working for one of the 16 playoff teams that are currently in this year's NBA playoffs. So that was a bombshell yesterday. Yes, it's Cowherd. Yes, you got to take it with a grain of salt. But he did have LA Times reporter Arash Markazi on the show later in the program, and he said, yes, Rob will not get the number one job. I think it's someone who's currently working for a playoff team who's built a playoff team. So it's not just Cowherd. This might have legs to it, and to me, I don't think it's quite outside the realm of possibility because it would explain why the Lakers have moved forward with this coaching search despite not having a president of basketball operations in place. Wouldn't you want to address the most important position in the franchise with, a president of basketball operations before you make such a huge decision like who's going to be the head coach that's going to lead this franchise? So I don't think a president is going to want to take that job if he can't choose his own GM and he can't choose his own coach. So if he's working behind the scenes and he's signing off on these candidates and some of these moves, I don't think it's quite outside the realm of possibility. I want to know what you guys have to say. I want you to weigh in right here. Who will be the next Lakers president? Shoot your shot. You can, you basically, if it's true, you have a 1 in 16 chance that it's one of the current playoff teams. Could it be, ideally, it's a Masai Ujiri, the Raptors, the Toronto Raptors president, who has a great relationship with Kawhi Leonard, and he's proven to be one of the best scouts and best team presidents in basketball. Maybe Masai Ujiri says, look, Kawhi is gone. I don't have a lot. If maybe he knows Kawhi is leaving, and he says, look, hey, the Lakers are offering me 10, 20 million. Who knows? You remember, there is no salary cap for a president of basketball operations. Magic Johnson did the Lakers a favor. He didn't get fired. He resigned. And he was getting paid $10 million a year, and that's off the book. So who knows? Maybe the Lakers, broke off a huge check for a huge president. But I want to know what you got to say again. Who will be the next Lakers president? Let me know in the comments. And now we're going to get into our second rumor. Let's get an update on that coaching search. So, as Bill Oram first reported that he said that Rob Pelinka will be conducting the initial interviews and then taking those final candidates to Jeannie Buss for final approval. And if there's any truth to yesterday's rumors that there is a president already waiting and working behind the scenes, maybe that's not the case. But in any event, it is clear that Monty Williams, the current Philadelphia Sixers assistant coach, former head coach of the Pelicans, is the Lakers' number one candidate. The LA Times' Brad Turner reported, sources Lakers GM Rob Pelinka is meeting Philadelphia assistant coach Monty Williams today to discuss LA's head coaching job that is open after Luke Walton was let go last week. And also, many believe that Williams is the number one candidate. I mean, that was reiterated by Ramona Shelburne. She said, I think Monty's the favorite, but I don't know how that interview went last night. He's probably in line if Philly opens up. If they lose or if they fall short, he'd be in line to step in there. And also, everyone in the league has told him not to take the job. So, in this case, first of all, I'm loving the fact that the Lakers are targeting someone that other teams want, someone that is a coveted candidate for other franchises, and they might have to battle it out with Philly because, let's be honest, the Sixers, that is an attractive gig. You have Ben Simmons, you have Joel Embiid, but Monty Williams is a guy that the Lakers would love because, one, it helps them not just go for the LeBron route and hire Tyronn Lue. We'll get into that in just a second. But also, he's a good coach. He has experience coaching superstars in Anthony Davis. He spent time, 4 years, coaching the Pelicans, made 2 playoff appearances, and also he has those connections with Team USA. So, Monty Williams, if you talk to people around the league, he is one of the most universally respected coaches in the league. And it would be, I think, a decent hire. LeBron would respect him, and he brings just a respect level to the franchise that I think is really, really, really vital at this current time. So the only negatives, if you look at some of his offenses with New Orleans, they were very isolation heavy. They were stagnant, not great spacing, and they were towards the bottom of the league in generating open three-point attempts. So we know the league has shifted a little bit. You got to shoot the three if you want to win in this league. So, going into last night, of all the games of the playoffs so far, only one game had a team that made less threes, beat the opponent. And that was when Philly beat beat the Nets the other night, beat Brooklyn. So you got to shoot the three. And if Monty doesn't have that ability to create that, and he's not innovative enough, it should be cause for concern. But that is who they're targeting. Monty Williams, it is about the respect. LeBron's going to do what he wants to do. Bring in a guy that he'll play for, and I do think he checks off that most important box. So before we get into the next candidate, I want you guys to go right now, subscribe to Chat Sports on YouTube for all things Lakers this offseason. YouTube.com/ChatSportsTV. We got a wild summer coming up, and you're going to get all the best, hottest, most recent, latest rumors about your purple and gold, about your Lakers over on that channel. So, number 3, the word is, like I just said, the Lakers might want to avoid a Lue-LeBron pairing. So Mark Stein said, in the New York Times, Monty Williams has a stronger than expected shot at the job because some in the Lakers organization may fear hiring Lue would be giving LeBron too much power. Now, would it? Probably. But really, it's about getting your biggest investment in LeBron James, putting him in a position where he's comfortable and where he has that familiarity. Let's not deny it. Monty Williams may be a great coach, but he's not proven. LeBron and Tyronn Lue, that is a proven track record. That's 3 NBA Finals appearances. That's a championship where they came back and down 3-1 to beat the Warriors. So earlier this year, when Tyronn Lue was fired by the Cavs, LeBron quickly went to Twitter back in October. He tweeted, "T. Lue, thanks for the memories and, more importantly, our partnership, bringing a championship to that deserved city/fan base. You know how to find me." So, for me personally, I think I don't want to say it's petty, but I don't like that motive by the Lakers that, hire the best candidate. Ask yourself, would Tyronn Lue put the Lakers in position with this LeBron-led team to have success the quickest? And I do think he would do that. You know what I mean? And the other thing about Tyronn Lue that I haven't heard a lot of people talking about is why not bring in a guy who's one of the only guys that we've ever heard that will stand up to LeBron. Not very many coaches or players have really, had it in him to just to call out LeBron when he needs to be called out. This is from 2016, Lee Jenkins' story in Sports Illustrated. If you don't know Lee Jenkins, he's now working for the Clippers, but he's widely considered to be one of, if not the best NBA writer in the game. And this was from his story after the Cavs won the championship. This is a quote from Tyronn Lue. He said to LeBron, "Stop being so passive. Stop turning the ball over and guard Draymond." It went on to say, "Bron was mad, pissed off at me, and then we went into the locker room at halftime, and I told him the same thing in front of all the guys. He was mad again, pissed off again." So, yes, he does have those ties, but bring in a guy who won't be afraid, who won't walk on eggshells around LeBron, and he'll tell him like it is when he needs to. So, yes, it would, the perception, the optics would look like, okay, LeBron, he has the keys of the franchise, he's picking his coach, this and that. But at the end of the day, what's going to get the most dubs? What's going to get the most wins in the near future? I believe that's Tyronn Lue. So before we get to the next coach, make sure to follow me on Twitter. Go to @Doug_McKain. That's @Doug_McKain. And DM me, guys. Hit me up in the DM. Let's talk Lakers all day. You'll get that follow back. And, yeah, hit me up on Twitter @Doug_McKain. So the next one is Juwan Howard. Juwan Howard has been said to be the number 3 guy if it's not Monty Williams, if it's not Tyronn Lue. Ramona Shelburne tweeted, "The Lakers plan to talk to Monty Williams, Tyronn Lue, and Juwan Howard as part of the initial phase of their coaching search," league sources tell ESPN. And, if you look at Juwan Howard, if Monty Williams wants to stay in Philly, and if they're dead set on not bringing Tyronn Lue to avoid a LeBron-Tyronn Lue pairing, Juwan Howard is a pretty solid option in my opinion. He does have that familiarity with LeBron. He played with LeBron. He coached LeBron. And LeBron thrived with the structure of the Miami Heat. Eric Spoelstra, Pat Riley. That is a true culture as far as NBA circles goes. And Juwan Howard has learned from that and been mentored by Spoelstra, by David Fizdale, someone who LeBron also likes, the current head coach of the Knicks. And then also Juwan Howard has those ties with Rob Pelinka, the Michigan Wolverines. He was a part of the Fab Five. Rob Pelinka was like the Fab Six. He's a little outside the Fab Five, but he was on that team. They have to have a relationship. And yes, a first-time head coach didn't really work out for the Lakers with Luke Walton, but Juwan Howard's going to get an NBA job. He will be a head coach in this league in the near future. He has that name that the Lakers like. He has like that star quality, that star head coach charisma. And I don't think it would be the worst move, and I would sign off on it. I don't really want a guy to learn on the job, but if you're not going to get Tyronn Lue, if you're not going to get Monty Williams, Juwan Howard would not be the worst as a third candidate. So I want you guys to weigh in. Who will be the next coach of the Lakers? Type M for Monty, type T for Tyronn Lue, type J for Juwan Howard. Next story, let's go to the free agents. What's the latest with the free agent signing? So LeBron James said that, on an exclusive interview, he said, "I'm looking forward to see who jumps in the car with me and who wants to take this ride to the top. I'm not saying I'm guaranteeing a championship. I'm guaranteeing my body. I'm guaranteeing my mind and always be in a championship mindset until I'm done." So LeBron, he's never had to recruit. Wade was in place. Bosh was in place. They traded for Caleb. Cavs drafted Kyrie. LeBron's never had to recruit. And not only that, he's not in the playoffs. So that's going to be his number one priority, is luring in a free agency. LeBron knows what's at stake, and he's going to try to get a guy. Stephen A. Smith said, "I'm told Kyrie Irving will grant the Lakers an interview this offseason, this summer." So they will get a pitch meeting with Kyrie, and I think we'll see who they get as far as team president goes. No one can do what Magic does as far as lighting up a room, selling the Lakers brand, the Lakers Showtime style, but Kyrie Irving is a very, very calculated, smart player, and he knows what kind of success he did have with LeBron James, okay? So Laker fans out there, yes, we're not in the playoffs, but you have a lot of games to watch. You remember Chappelle's The Player Haters Ball? You got to be hating on the Celtics, of course. You got to be rooting against Toronto. You got to be rooting against Philly. You got to be rooting against any of these teams that have a potential free agent the Lakers could and would want to sign. So be out there and rooting against the Celtics, because we know they had a rough season as far as not meeting expectations go. And if they have an early exit, the Lakers might be competing with the Knicks or Brooklyn or Boston, but you get a meeting and those things change. So moving on to Kawhi Leonard, a Kawhi Leonard update. Brian Windhorst said on The Jump, a lot of people in the NBA think Kawhi Leonard is gone no matter what the Raptors do. Kawhi just wants to be on the West Coast. Also, John Ireland from ESPN 710, the Lakers broadcaster, said, I had a guy tell me a week ago in this NBA media, Kawhi is not going to the Clippers. You add the fact that Kawhi looks up to Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant, if you haven't seen the last episode of his show, The Detail, he breaks down Kawhi's game, and Kawhi is a player that looks up to Kobe. And so let me get this straight. He's going to leave the Raptors no matter what, based on these reports. He's not going to join the Clippers. I mean, the Lakers, they're going to welcome Kawhi with open arms if that's the case. And if you're Kawhi Leonard, yeah, sure, LeBron James is on the team, but LeBron's got to be to Kawhi, hey, I'll be your Shaq. A couple more years of my prime, and then you be the Kobe, and, we'll work in tandem, and then in a couple years, this is your franchise. You're the next face of the Lakers. It's got to be enticing for Kawhi Leonard. Imagine Lonzo and Kawhi. That defense on the perimeter would be outstanding. So it's something to get excited about if it's at all a possibility. And then lastly, you got Jimmy Butler. So Brian Windhorst was on the Mason and Ireland show yesterday. He said, the big swing guy to me is Jimmy Butler. It looks to me the Sixers intend to re-sign Tobias Harris. I think Jimmy Butler, if he doesn't get a 5-year offer, is going to be gone. He wants to play in Los Angeles. I think that's where the Lakers have a move. So Jimmy Butler, we know from a locker room standpoint that he can be difficult, right? But Ramona Shelburne also said that if there's one guy in the league that Jimmy Butler respects, it's LeBron James. And I think Jimmy Butler, yes, the last couple years of his contract, you might not get the value. You might have to give him a 4-year deal and really, really overpay for Jimmy Butler. But you're getting a guy who can create his own shot, a guy who plays with a chip on his shoulder, a guy who plays defense. And also, I think that he would work well with LeBron. He can get to the free throw line. Last year he's averaging 0.99 points per possession in isolation situations and getting to the foul lines 4 times more than he turns the ball over. That's what the Lakers need. They can't just throw the ball to LeBron, expect him to do something. They need shot creators, people that can get to the line. And also, he averaged, in his career 3.2 3-point attempts per game at 35.2%. At a 35% clip. So he can catch and shoot. He's versatile. I like Jimmy Butler as an option. But I want you guys to weigh in. Which player right now, as of today, do you think the Lakers have a best chance to sign? Type 1 for Kawhi, type 1 for Kyrie, type 2 for Kawhi, type 3 for Jimmy Butler. That's 1 for Kyrie, that's 2 for Kawhi, 3 for Jimmy Butler. Who do you guys think the Lakers have the best chance to sign as of today? Last rumor, it was new Pelicans, the David Griffin, former Cavs GM, former Cavs president, has joined the New Orleans Pelicans as executive of VP. How does that affect the Lakers? It affects the Lakers because he said in his introductory press conference that he intends to try to sign to keep Anthony Davis, to try to keep him in New Orleans. And he says, we have a long, successful history with Clutch Sports, Rich Paul, and I have spoken about Anthony. We are both excited about what we could potentially build here. Of course, the first thought, that's GM, that's VP Speak 101. You want to increase his trade value and say, play it off to teams like, no, Anthony Davis might stay here, give us a better offer. We'll see if it's just gamesmanship. You slide over that designated player extension and Anthony Davis looks at that number, he might think twice, but we'll see what happens, folks. So my name is Doug McKain, here live from Lakerland. Follow me at Doug_McKain, all things Lakers. Enjoy the playoffs. It's all about this offseason, folks. Follow us and subscribe, youtube.com/chatsports. Signing out from Lakerland, my name is Doug McKain.